It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and thank you for spending your morning with us. Now, our next guest needs no introduction, not even a little one. Basetsana Kumalo is a businesswoman, an author, philanthropist, a former Miss South Africa who helped lead Tswelopele Productions and made a lasting mark on both media and entrepreneurships, and definitely in our heart as South Africans. Now, she started on Top Billing as a presenter during her Miss South Africa era and later became a producer and executive, shaping the show's voice. Her career, of course, spans leadership roles, board service and advocacy for women and youth.
Ladies and gents, can we get our 27th round of applause, please, for Bassie?
Yes, Bassie.
I love you for what you represent within the industry, and I suppose it was timing. I've got this front row seat to watch you move through so many crazy gateways, so young, no preparation, and just do it, and never mind like the hopes and dreams of just you, but the whole nation. Because of, I think you taught me about Miss SA aura, that feeling when a former Miss SA walks into a room and you're like, hang on, why is the energy in here changed? But it's this ability to just go and conquer when I would imagine you didn't have a lot of role models to follow. Where did it come from for you? What was that ignition?
Sure. You know, Graham, I was born to two incredible parents. My father was a bus driver and my mother was a teacher. But living in my mother's house, it almost felt like you were living with motivational speakers, especially my father. My father used to affirm us. My father used to tell us that you could become anything you want to become. You should dream big. You should never be afraid to fail. So when you were brought up in a home where you were encouraged to dream, and to have that safety net that should it not work out, you still have your family to hold you, really propels you, and it gives you a sense of confidence, I think, as a young person. The sense of just knowing that your dreams are valid. And I think as a 20-year-old, when I started on Top Billing, it was really coming from that background where I was told that your dreams matter. I've got 2 elder sisters and 1 younger brother. And so literally living in my father's house was like living with a cheerleader, where you were, you know, inspired to go out there and try new things. And when, you know, the fortune of me being part of Top Billing through Patience Stevens, who's literally still my business partner 30 years later, was really a moment in time. I think it was such an anointed and an appointed time that we could meet at that time in 1994 to continue to create this incredible legacy brand that South Africans love so much. And that after 27 years, it's back on our screens. I think that speaks to what Top Billing is about. So having grown up on Top Billing and now as a 51-year-old and seeing where Top Billing is going, it's really, really exciting.
And 94 felt very different.
That
94
shift
felt very, very different.
And that shift is definitely still happening right now. I mean, I know it's been 30+ years since our democracy, but you are a living example and living proof that a woman of color, can just fit any role seamlessly, and as long as she shows up as a true, authentic self, she's able to embrace that. Last night, I know Sane was using the word embalm a lot of times when she was talking about Top Billing, and I think it's in the fabric of South Africans from young to old, and hopefully the next generation too now. And I'm really excited. Last night we had an event announcing it all, which we'll throw up some pictures of, and you looked gorgeous in your pink as well. But Bassie, you did say that Top Billing was your university of life. What sort of things did it teach you while you were doing your tenure there?
Wow, there's so many lessons and it's so difficult to pick but one. But what I remember distinctly is that as a television host, I came as myself. And I think to be authentic in your craft is very important. And I think that found resonance with the audiences, that I came as I was. And I carved my own niche in how I engaged the audiences, in how I interacted with our viewers. And for me, what was exciting is I was also getting to work with somebody like Michael Moore, for example.
What
a duo!
angel.
Like, he is a legend.
He is an angel.
Listen,
I think,
you know,
sent to us.
Michael is one of my favorite people on the planet. He's such a good human being, and I learned a lot from him as well. And us as a duo, I think there was always just the magic that we created on television. And yeah, it's been such an incredible journey looking back on where we come from with Top Billing.
Because it was like yesterday. I can remember, I think I was 19. You couldn't have been much older, and you were already judging Miss SA at that stage. And Michael was trying to calm me down on stage, being the bigger brother. He's not much older than I am, but he was, I think, still in his Mr. SA era. But he was just so gentle and wonderful and beautiful. And I think it was that energy that set the tone, because you had to know that every other person in the industry was looking at you guys.
Absolutely.
That became the job we all wanted to have.
But you know, I think also we just became the face of hope of what can be achievable. And for me, being a black girl child coming from the township in Soweto, it gave every young girl the permission to dream.
Absolutely.
To say that if she can, so can I. You know, so I think even the timing in '94, new democracy, new dispensation, new government, and being a new Miss South Africa in the new South Africa, you know, it was just the zeitgeist of the moment that lent itself to a script that nobody could have even, you know, thought it would be possible.
And there's the moment.
I love seeing you guys reconnect. I absolutely love this for the next 20 years of your life, because it's going to open things up on a different level for the next generation, I think, with the pieces that are on the board right now. It's a different South Africa, different world. There is a digital influence now, and I cannot wait to see what Top Billing is going to look like in those spaces.
Right?
You want to talk about influencers? I think the first super influencer is going to be born out of this space. Can I ask you this? What has been the toughest challenge through all of this? Because you were 20 and you had the hopes of a nation thrust on you. You didn't have a choice. You talk about '94 like it was an opportunity, but so much was put on your shoulders to get it right because you had to. Was that the toughest? Has it come as an entrepreneur?
I think so. You know, as a 20-year-old, you have big dreams. And you have a sense of what you want to achieve for your life. But you don't necessarily know the how.
You know nothing.
Figuring it all out. And you're literally doing this in the public domain, where you're recognized wherever you go. And so finding that balance between staying true to me, but also understanding that I became a national ambassador as a Top Billing presenter, that young people were looking up to me, that I had the sense of responsibility to carry the brand with the dignity that it deserved. So it was really finding that balance from a 20-year-old who literally is a national, I like to call myself a national treasure.
I was about to say a national treasure.
I could have gone with icon. I will take treasure, definitely.
Basetsana Kumalo, we admire you, we love you. The legacy still lives on, like we said, and the contribution that you have made to TV. The Luther Vandross interview, that was so, the Oprah, the nuts, I mean, come on, the list just goes on. Mind you, Luther wasn't having it with anybody else but with Miss Bassie herself, because the connection was just there.
Tata was pretty selective as well about who he let into his space, and I think he understood what you do with the show, what the show means for the industry. So thank you so much to Patience for bringing this back. The amount of young presenters that have started reaching out to me to connect, to find out what's up, is this here? The industry is excited. So thank you so much for being brave enough to do this again.
Thank you.
We appreciate
you so much.
And she looks gorgeous and graceful while she's doing it as well. Let's get into a sneak peek of that reunion special that's coming your way 27 November at 7 o'clock right here on S3.
Look at you! The best of the good life is coming back in 2026. But first, Top Billing's Jonathan Fez and myself reunite for a trip to the top beaches in SA.
Oh, that was epic. Thank you.
Yes.
We've arrived.
Oh, yes.
Don't miss the Top Billing Reunion Special. Thursday, 27 November at 7, repeat Saturday at 3, and Sunday at 1 p.m. on S3.